many people ask me, you can understand why, Santos, who do you think you were in past lives? Okay, so I don't know is the answer. I have no idea. And at this stage, I don't really care to know, because when we all find out who we were and what we did in other lives, will be the time that is the right time to learn that, okay, in our awakening process.
Sure.
But I have always said, for as long as I've known of the deeds of Julian, that that's it. I want to be. What's the word when you have sympathy with, or
Empathy?
yeah, well, this is the guy that I feel like. Okay, what I'm saying is,
yeah, fantastic. Yes, yeah. I know the word. It's on the tip of my tongue now. It's
yeah.
I know what you're saying, though. Absolutely, Santos.
Anyway, the word will come to me, but this is it. Some people wish they were Alexander the Great, yeah? Or I wish I was JFK. Or I wish I was, one of the 300 at Thermopylae or whatever. They've got their favourite beautiful people in the past, heroes, that they, feel harmony with, okay? Well,
they resonate with. They resonate.
That's the word.
They resonate. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you really resonate with Julian. Sure, you guys are on the same frequency, high frequencies.
Yeah, because, well, my whole purpose in life is to restore truth and syncretism, okay?
Exactly.
And the love and the consciousness that comes from that. Well, so did Julian.
Yeah.
I've received battle wounds for doing this, yeah, gone to jail, right?
Yeah.
Well, probably because I deserved it because of, because of contemptuous and hostile and angry behaviour, but my intentions were not for anything evil. And Julian's intentions were to restore Rome to the peace that Romans have experienced in the past. And have known, especially in the Hellenic period, which Julian was half Greek, and so he was Hellenic, and he hearkened back to the days when Alexander brought peace and prosperity and syncretism to the world. Hellenism and syncretism are two words that are interchangeable.
Wow. Okay.
Because in the Mediterranean, so you've got Rome, you've got Athens, you've got Alexandria, and you've got, say, Jerusalem and Antioch, Corinth. These were all teaching the religion of syncretism. Serapis, Serapis was the god that the Romans destroyed when they burned the Alexandrian library. Right here. After Julian died, Theodosius sent a herd of Christians, the Christian mob they called it, to murder Hypatia, scrape all the skin off her bones, not even the dogs would lick her bones, and parade her around the street like a carcass, showing what you do to syncretists.
Wow.
Oh, you've got to kill those ones. You've got to persecute those astrologers.
And pagans and witches, too.
They're all pagans and heretics and whatever Rome says.
Huh? Yeah.
Whatever Rome says goes, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Rome
absolutely.
says witches, well then they're witches.
Yeah.
Yet Rome is the one who practices witchcraft and harlotry.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
enslavement of the masses. And all of these families. This very family that Julian came from. This is one of the bloodiest families who have ever lived.
They always accuse you of what they're doing.
Yeah, and just 150 years after Julian came Justinian, and this guy created dog Latin, degraded, base Latin for us, the slaves, so that we go to court and we see all caps within ordinary script font in our documents. Now we've got two languages in one document. Now this document cannot be seen or read or understood by a judge. Therefore, we are committing a crime by using this copyrighted font, which is Dog Latin. Well, this guy, not only did he create the language to enslave humanity, he shut down the Neoplatonic schools in the year 529, just 150 years after Julian put money into the Alexandrian library, and all the schools, all the pagan and Christian. He didn't go persecuting the Christians like all his bloodline did, which they called them pagans after Constantine, conveniently.
Heretics.
So what we've got here, let me go back in the timeline because this needs to be done correctly, okay? This needs to be so correctly, because not even the good historians have got a clue how to do this. They have not got a clue, because what are they doing? They're getting their money from the Jesuits, from the Copernican, the globalists. See, the globe turns up by these families, and here's Newton over here in about 1700s. See, this is what we've got here. 2,000 years ago, yeah? 100 years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 years ago. 1,000 years.
Yep, you got it.
1100, 1200s when the Crusades, 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. Yes, we know what happened here.
Yep.
Globe began on steroids.
The globe set up.
18, 19, 2000, okay? All right. So this is the timeline we have. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was totally wrong, put it that way.
Absolutely.
But what they can't do is they can't erase characters from history. What they can do is they can grab this timeline and they can insert it right over the top of here, like Anatoly Fomenko says. So, in other words, even Alexander, who harmonizes with this here,
yeah.
If you put Alexander the Great in this timeline, he would fit over here. Okay. So in other words, what Fomenko was saying is that what Rome did is actually Grecian history, but told from a Roman's point of view, and so they pulled out or added 1,000 years to make it look like all those empires were actually much older and what have you.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, to hide the crime.
Obfuscate.
Yeah.
To obfuscate, yeah. To obfuscate, yeah. To complicate simple stuff.
Yeah, and to hide the fact that Rome had just recently destroyed Babylon, Egypt, Persia, Assyria, and Greece. It wasn't to push the crimes of Rome back further so that we don't see how much slavery we have today.
Right.
Because the Inquisition never went away. In fact, if you go in Wikipedia and punch in the word Inquisition, you will see in the third paragraph that it's still alive today, and it's called the Doctrine of the Holy Faith. That's the name the Jesuits have given to the Inquisition.
Here we go, the Inquisition, what a show. Sorry.
So what we've got is, let me tell you how the Jesus story. Oh, by the way, the other book that Julian wrote, he wrote many works, and he wrote them on the field in war.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. So he was a warrior philosopher, as the real hero should be.
An artist.
Not murdering wantonly, but protecting freedom.
Yes. I'm all
Julian,
down for that.
Hey?
I'm down for that. You know that.
Yeah.
Protecting freedom.
So, yeah, protecting freedom. So Julian not only did follow that philosophy, he actually implemented it, which many people cannot claim. And not many people in history can say that they did that. They actually saved the world. He was a saviour, not an apostate. So he wrote, "Against the Galileans, which I urge all churchgoers to read to find out how you've been duped by the historical BS story, which is a Ponzi scheme." And it goes back to Constantine, who created the donation of Constantine, which is to pay Peter's pence forevermore to the Church of Peter, St. Peter, which is Jupiter, which is Zeus, which is Jesus. So Constantine was very loyal to his Greek roots by calling Jesus by a Greek name, which is Zeus. Okay? Big joke to all the Christians. We love Jesus. Yes, we know you love Jupiter, because Jupiter is the greater benefic, and he blesses us with food and juicy fruit and many blessings. So good on you. Keep loving Zeus, all you churchies. Yeah, don't worry about Yeshua. Don't worry about Yeshua, the Hebrew name. Just keep using Jesus. Yeah, because that way Zeus's name will live forever and ever and ever. Because there is no Jesus in history. There is Zeus and Jupiter in the heavens.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
And this will prove it. All you've got to do is read from their own family, the creators who made the BS story about Jesus, so you can keep waiting for him to come while they sodomize you. He had the balls and the guts as a God-man to bring truth to this plane, to free people from bloodshed. No one was persecuted when Julian was on the throne. No one. This is a real king. This is a real emperor, the emperor of hearts. Yeah? A warrior God-man. None of these other Constantine the Great. Constantine the Great? That's what they call him.
Really? They call him the Great? Like Alexander the Great. Yep.
But Constantine the Great was not great. Okay? Justinian, bad.
Yeah.
Julian, good.
Yes.
Good God.
Very
God,
impressive. Good God. Very God. Good.
Every man who lives and draws breath should want to be Julian the God, and not one of these demons like they look up to, like a Barack Obama or a George Bush or a Bill Clinton. Those guys are rapists. They are pedophiles and murderers. And these guys, they laugh because George Bush comes from this family, from the Claudio Flavian family of Rome. George Bush is a Plantagenet. He's a Tudor. He's a Windsor. He's a Guelph. He's a Ghibelline. He's a Roman.
Yes.
Roman oligarchy. But they laugh at their ancestor Julian, call him an apostate.
Incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's incredible.
But my work will restore, as much as I can, Julian to his true glory, and Julian will forever be known on my lips as the greatest man who ever lived, and the only man that I will go back in time for to live and die like this hero. Okay? I will not go back as Alexander the Great or any other man. First will be Julian, and then if I get asked if I want to go back again, I will ask to be Julian 1 billion times after that and no one else.
Nice.
Right? Because he's my hero and my God.
For sure.
Okay, it should be everybody's. Everybody's. Our brother in heaven, who is now looking down on us. And he wrote the glorious hymn to Helios, and he wrote the glorious hymn to the Mother of God, Isis, who he adored, because the Neoplatonists, all these stars, were his teacher. That's why these guys had to shut down the Neoplatonic school, and then they pumped out Aristotle on steroids. Aristotle was a materialist, not like Plato, a spiritualist or transcendentalist. Plato spoke of republics, not oligarchies. His student Aristotle was a materialist, an oligarch worshipper. Yeah? He was talking about material ways of knowing God. Plato was a transcendentalist. He taught how to know God spiritually. That's why these guys are our gods of wisdom. Not the peripatetic school, which was human stupidity, called philosophy. Not the Stoics, not the Epicureans, the Neoplatonists, who were Hermetists. Hermes.
No.
Hermes of Egypt, the first one to write our holy doctrines of astrology. The Bible is all astrological. That's what Julian
Absolutely.
Julian, he was baptized a Christian. He was raised as a Christian. He went to the school of all the Christians. He was taught the Catholic system. And when he became emperor, he turned his back on it because he uncovered their deceit. Please read against the Galileans. Just read the first few paragraphs and it will suffice. Because there he says, I have uncovered this deception of these nasty liar tellers, speaking about a historical Jesus. I've got books here. I've got Celsus on the True Doctrine.
Yep.
Celsus lived here in the 2nd century before the Neoplatonists, right?
Yep.
And he was arguing about the non-historicity of Jesus back here. He was making a mockery of it. He was saying, who is this Jesus? Huh?
Yeah, way back then. Way back then, I said. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said way back then.
Yeah, well, 2,000 years ago. We've got scholars all the way here to Santos Bonacci that are still debunking Jesus.
Exactly.
We've got Pope Julius and Pope Alexander and Pope Leo X all laughing